Every image you will ever create will consist of lines, shapes, patterns, colors, and tones, and nothing more. The meaning of your message lies buried beneath. Being able to control how these elements are portrayed in your image is paramount to your goal of becoming an artist. Learning the mechanics of capturing light the in-focus way is the key. The aperture is a variable size hole found in the lens. With control of this hole, you gain the ability to either blur or keep certain graphic elements in razor-sharp focus. This is called depth of field, and it's a photographer's bread and butter. As new and Focus 1 students fighting your way through week 1, you want to choose the largest hole your lens has for all the assignments that you're going to be doing this week. This will accomplish two very important things. First, it'll help with the blurry background we're trying so desperately to achieve. And second, it'll give you very fast shutter speeds when shooting your image. This is something that's quasi-important since most new photographers don't hold their cameras steady when shooting at all. In-focus photographers, however, use the power over depth of field to gain total control over a message. They can make any piece of their image as sharp or as blurry as they wish. If they're shooting 2 people in a crowd of 7, they can isolate their targets and blur out the rest. And they can do this in the blink of an eye. This kind of control for a message builder is as important as breathing is to everyone else. There are, of course, other factors that control depth of field, but you got to start somewhere, right? And it might as well be with something worthwhile. The aperture control on your SLR shouldn't be that hard to find. As a matter of fact, if you haven't found it yet, then you probably haven't been practicing. The aperture dial is probably one of 2 spinning dials on the camera. Just turn one and look inside your viewfinder to see what changes. If your shutter speed is changing and not the aperture value, then you haven't found it yet. Turn the other dial. And look all over your camera. For example, on more expensive Canons, look on the camera's back. You'll see a very large wheel. And, well, the wheel is the aperture control. If you've only got one dial, because you were looking to save money, then look for some kind of aperture value shift button. This will turn the shutter dial into an aperture dial. You'll have to hold it down, of course, when turning. If not, it won't work and you'll just be adjusting your shutter speed. If you're still having problems finding this, look for a button with a plus and a minus sign next to it. Some camera manufacturers cleverly mask this AV shift button by putting the letters AV to the side. Anyway, just hold down the shift button and rotate the dial. Poof, your aperture spins. If you're still having problems finding the aperture value control knob, look in your manual. And the nice thing about being an in-focus photographer is the fact that when we read the manual, we're only looking for a couple of pieces. The majority of it isn't for us. And if you're just looking up aperture control, I'll bet you'll find it really quick. All right, good luck. You've got a lot of homework ahead of you. Let's pick a big hole and start shooting.